So for more on this, let's bring in former House Speaker Newt Gingrich, of course, a Georgian himself. Okay, I think a couple of things are interesting. One, Stacey Abrams not showing up today. Do you think that has something to do with the fact that he's down 20 points in Georgia?
Look, I think Stacey Abrams is very smart. I think she realizes that a photo op next to President Biden and Vice President Harris hurts her, it doesn't help her. I think she also agrees with the civil rights groups who think this thing is all phony, that they're not going to get it through. This is the second big effort they're going to try to make in the Senate that's going to fail. People who are smart know that. And I think it's a little bit puzzling why the president would put so much effort into what's clearly going to fail. I mean, he's not going to succeed with this. And meanwhile, he's not solving the price of food. He's not solving the price of gasoline. He's not solving the border. He's not solving the logistics chain. I mean, you go down the list of the things they're not doing, and they're not solving the problem of test kits for COVID. It's very puzzling how much they're owned by the radicals and keep doing these dances that just plain fail.
Yeah, I think you're right about that point. It seems like it's political play acting. All this is words. They're going to make a trip, and the trip will never get off the ground back in Washington, D.C. Joe Manchin asked about that yet again on the filibuster. Here's what he said. Roll it.
Will you insist on keeping the 60-vote threshold on anything, Senator? Is that important?
Well, that's you know, that is what we have. That's what we've always had for 232 years. That's what basically makes us a little bit different than anybody else in the world.
As I mentioned, 232 years, I mean, we could debate whether it's 234, 236, or 242, wherever you want to start. But this whole idea about going with no results and having someone like Abrams not show up, it almost suggests, Mr. Speaker, that this is an administration that's out of ammo.
Well, I think more than that. They're out of touch with reality. I mean, look, they're in a very tough position. They've adopted policies the country hates. When you tell people that New York City just allowed 800,000 non-citizens to vote in municipal elections, they think that that's crazy. When you tell them that Governor Newsom has said he's going to pay for health care for every illegal immigrant who can get to California, they think that's crazy. The bill that the president's pushing, President Biden's pushing a bill that 85% of the country opposes. Most Americans, including African Americans and Latinos, think you should be able to identify who you are. You should be an American citizen in order to vote. You should have to vote in an orderly way. They're against ballot harvesting. They understand that same-day registration at a time when you have millions of illegal immigrants crossing the border is an invitation to sheer theft. And so it's puzzling why these guys have gotten themselves down this road. These guys, meaning Schumer, Pelosi, Harris, Biden, that is clearly a dead end, and yet they keep trying to dig their way deeper, not dig their way out.
Senator McConnell spoke on this yesterday because he's going to have to basically block this in the Senate. So here's how he set it up.
The Senate Democratic leaders are trying to use a big lie to bully and berate their own members into breaking their word, breaking the rules, and breaking the Senate.
So that's the positioning, even going into the midterms, is that the Biden team and the Democrats are just way too left for America. Is that the best setting to set the stage for 2022?
I think the best phrase is simple. It ain't working. And you go stand at a gas station and watch people putting gas in, it ain't working. You go to a grocery store, look at the price of beef, it ain't working. You go look at the 120 ships sitting off of Long Beach, it ain't working. You go down to the border, the mayor of Yuma declares an emergency because there's a 2,500% increase in the number of people coming across the border in his town. It ain't working. I think if the Republicans just run on the graces, this ain't working, they'll probably win a landslide of historic proportion in both the House and the Senate.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for your time. Newt Gingrich with us. I think we've got the title of your next column.
Yeah,
it ain't working.
Got it.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Simple and easy to remember.
Right on.